Good morning, range fans. Here we are again in my shop because it's like 6 degrees outside and it's windy. And it's going to be windy for the next 3 or 4 days and cold. I don't see me shooting in the near future. So as soon as I can, I will try to get outside and show you some of the effects. But what I'm going to talk to today is about things you can't change, and that are the conditions. And the first condition is very simple to understand. It's called gravity. Their bullets fall into the ground the second it leaves the barrel. And to give you an example of that, if you're sighted in at 50 yards and go to 100, you need to add around 5.5 minutes of elevation. I don't know what it is at mills because I don't shoot mills, but it's about 5.5 minutes. So that means from 50 to 100 yards, the bullet's dropping another 5.5 inches. So that's just the way it is. The other condition we deal with a lot is the wind. And there's two parts to wind: direction and velocity. Now, you have to understand that wind blowing 1 to 2 mile an hour from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock is going to move the bullet some, but moving from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, blowing at 15 miles an hour, that's a whole different story. And there's nothing I can tell you. I'm just hoping that you understand that these things affect the bullet's accuracy, and it affects it a lot. And another thing that affects is mirage. What is mirage? That's those squiggly lines that you see. They're running this way, they're this way, they're always out there. Now, some of you say, I've never seen it. Well, I can understand that, because you're not going to go out and buy a $59 scope and see mirage. That's not going to happen. You may see it if it's a really, really hot, humid day, but 90% of the time, you're not going to see it with an inexpensive scope. Not telling you have to go out and buy an expensive scope. That's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is on a good scope, and you're shooting 40 power, 36 power, and you have it clear, you'll see mirage. Mirage will give you wind direction along with wind flags. You'll see the lines going left and right. And if you shoot in that condition, wherever those squiggly lines are going, that's where your bullet will go. So how do you shoot in these conditions is what you're asking. And I tell you need to practice. Well, practice, practice, practice. And some people shoot their sighter bulls and then try to determine where to hold. Like if their bullet hits at 2 o'clock on the target, they'll try to hold the opposite of that down at 8 o'clock. I'm not very good at that. It's called shading or holding or chasing the bullet. I'm not very good at that. I'd rather wait for my condition to come back and then shoot as fast as I can. That's what I do. Now, what I do is I have a target here, and I'm going to hold it up for you to see. Now, on this target, you can see how many sighters. These are all sighter bulls over here and down here. So as I'm shooting, and I always hang my target this way, because I want the sighter bulls at the end of my row, because I shoot across, down, across, down, across, down, across. That's the way I shoot. So I want a sighter bull at the end. Now, I'm just going to count up how many sighters I shot today. Now, this can't be exact because some of these holes may have 3 or 4 holes in them. Looks like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I shot 28 sighters because the conditions changed. To shoot a score of 2,500. There you can see the score. So, you say, why did I shoot so many? Well, because I shoot as fast as I can when my condition is there. And then when it moves too far or close to the blue line, then I stop and go to the sighter and shoot sighters. I can give you an example here of what I'm talking about on one of my sighter bulls. This bull here, as you can see, the first shot probably was right there. And you can see it's out there. That's 50 down. So I moved over here and shot until it was in the center. Here's another one. I went up and shot. I waited. My condition's back. It's there. And all of them are the same way. Here's another one. It was out, and I went down here. I don't know where. Then I waited till they came back. Here, it didn't come back for a while. Then it did. See? And then I recheck it. Those are things you need to practice. That's not something that somebody can teach you. You need to learn that. When the condition is there, how do I know when my condition is there? Well, let me give you a few hints. When the wind's blowing straight at you or straight away, you can't shoot. You say, why is that? Because you don't know where the bullet's going to go. And I'll draw you an example of that. I'm no artist. But as you can see here, this is the guy shooting. There's the arc of the bullet. Now, the wind's blowing at you. You don't know if it's hitting it on here when it's set it down, or the wind's hitting it here, pushing it up. So what will happen is, if you shoot when the wind's blowing at you or behind you, you're going to get high shots and low shots because you don't know where that wind's hitting your bullet, whether it's hitting at the 25-yard line or the 50-yard line or the 75-yard line. So you'll string them up and down. So when the wind's blowing directly in your face or from 12 o'clock or behind you at 6 o'clock, don't shoot. Take a break. Rest yourself. Load your magazines. There's a lot you can do. You can look at your target, but don't shoot because it's a condition that you cannot figure out. It's just almost impossible. There's guys out there that tell me that they can figure it out, but I never took the time to talk to them. Now, when the wind's blowing from 3 to 9, those are full value. That means it can't push the bullet any more than from those two conditions. Now, if it comes in at an angle like 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock, those are usually quarter value. They'll affect it half as much as it will coming from 3 and 9. So those conditions, a lot of people, you can still shoot one in the middle. How do you know if you can? You go to your sighter and you shoot a couple. And if they're flying in there, because the velocity's not too bad, maybe it's only 2-3 mile an hour wind made your flag turn. Go ahead and shoot them. Do you shade or hold for them? I will hold that far out, right there, like this. I don't hold that far. I never hold that far out. I hold this a little bit. Just that's where I'll put the crosshair. I'll never put the crosshair out here or out here or out here. I don't do that. As long as my crosshair is touching that blue somewhere, I'll go ahead if I think the condition is there and I'll let her go. Do I get caught? Absolutely. And I'll say, well, you just had no patience today, did you, David? You got to wait. Or shoot another sighter. You say, well, that's expensive to shoot that many. You're right. But I'm a serious shooter and I try to do the best I can every time. And this probably was a very windy day. That's why I shot so many. I'll show you target. Here's another 2500, as you can see. Look at the sighters here. 1, let's go to this side. 2, 3. 3 sighters. So I would say that was a pretty calm day, which doesn't happen very often. And I was on the first relay, because your up here, your competitor number, first relay, bench 24, target 2, was pretty calm. So I probably shot that in like 8 minutes. When the conditions were there, I just shoot. So let me look at my notes here. I have a few other notes. Another thing that when I'm shooting is you only can shoot as good as the bullets are in your box. You get a box of bullets, you only can shoot as good as those bullets are. So that's why you need a test to make sure that these are the best bullets for my rifle. And in doing that will help you shoot better scores. And you're not going to go out there your first day and shoot a 2500 in ARA. You're not going to go to a bench rest match and win on what I'm telling you. These are things that will affect you. And if you study long enough and practice long enough, you will be making videos and telling other people how to shoot. I just hope that this helps you. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll answer you. I'll even give out my phone number if you'd like to talk. This is for new shooters to try to help you get in the game, because it was very frustrating when I was a new shooter and I asked questions. But I found me a mentor. And after I found the mentor, I started shooting much, much better. But I talked to him a lot. I'd go shoot and say, this is what happened. And he'd walk me through it. And then I'd go back and test his theory. And it helped me a lot. So fellow shooters, young shooters, I hope these videos are helping you in your shooting, bench rest, or ARA matches. And if you're looking for ARA matches, just go to Rimfire Accuracy. Go to the bottom of that. I'm not a computer person, but I know I just go to the bottom and it says ARA matches and IR 50/50 matches. You just click on that and it gives you all the matches that month and then by state. And that'll help you. And if you come to Pennsylvania, you'll see me at the matches. I try to shoot every Saturday in Pennsylvania. So I'm hoping this all helped you, and I hope to see you at the 50-yard line. You all have a great day. God bless.